Hello,
Hey,
hello.
hey.
Oh, what's up, Patriot family?
What's up, guys? We're so grateful to have you here today. Thank you to our viewers and Talk Red, and thank you, Allie, for joining us. We've got a special guest coming up later in the show. You're not going to want to miss it. Chloe Castillo, classically Chloe, as we call her. She'll be joining us in just a bit. So, Allie, how are you doing this wonderful Tuesday morning?
It's
Trump Tuesday?
Tuesday morning.
It's, just,
That's how I'm
it's
doing.
morning. Let's be real. Like that.
Tuesday.
We've got so much to talk to you guys about, including the SAVE Act and what potentially we have coming, hopefully in the next few days. Obviously, Chloe Castillo will be joining us. We're going to dip in a little bit to the talk around the nation of kids, students, walking out in school in protest, and who's running this, and how is it okay, and what are your opinions on it? So much more with Open Mic, ladies. So, guys, buckle in. And Allie? Let's open the mic.
Open that mic.
Taking back our freedom, back to where we started. We're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, he gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor of MAGAville, the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' ring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
If you're not at least tapping your toes to that song, and then if it doesn't follow you throughout your day at some point, then are you even listening to the show? We want to thank.
As I was looking at those photos that were going by in our little intro, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a better collagen because my hair. I'm like, what is happening?
Well, we have there will be a new intro coming. It's been a long time in the making, as well as really I guess our own original song. You're not going to see this slide off camera of coffee,
I hear
but
it though, so it's
but when Shell's in a mood, people are like, what? Coffee. Let's get a
What
coffee.
can we do to make Shell not an? It's the Gremlins. Show him. We need a name for him, you guys.
The Gremlin. Oh, the Gremlin.
Wait, what is the name? What are we naming our Gremlin? What are we naming him?
It's got to be something super masculine, because he was masculine enough to put on a pink and black hat, and I like that. And he kind of looks like Godfather-ish sitting there.
He does. He needs a glass of whiskey next to him.
No, David will be working on that now, I'm sure.
It's so funny. I keep adding more things to it. I'm like,
He's like,
how else
knock
can
it
we
off.
do better?
Well, Allie, you and I have been shouting from the rooftops about what was first the SAVE Act, and now it's the Save America Act. All we're asking for is to get voter ID type.
ID for people to vote in, like, citizens. That's it. That's
And
all
that
we're
shows that you're a citizen.
That's it. It's not that hard. I mean, you know.
Somewhere George Washington and Benjamin Franklin and John Adams and Alexander Hamilton are like, what?
That needs to be an image of them, like, hitting their heads. Like, geez, really?
It was just so simple in the Constitution, but getting our elected officials representatives to line up with constitutionality sometimes is very difficult. There has been pressure through, obviously, independent media, independent journalists. You've got influencers that have jumped on it. Representative Ana Paulina Luna from here in Florida has not let her foot off the gas pedal at all. She had this to say. There's 12 other members with her that have joined to basically say, let's go, leadership John Thune and the Senate side. 300 plus days of delay is enough, she says.
Yeah.
Invoking the standing filibuster, debate the Save America Act in the open. Let the people see it. Vote. Pass it. Send it to the president's desk. Obviously, the House has already done their side. Election integrity is not optional. And Allie, it's amazing because it's amazing what people will do that are elected sometimes to not have to debate something in the public. There you can see the letter that that Ana Paulina Luna sent, along with 12 other members of the House. That, first of all, why only 12?
I don't know. I don't know. You know what this is? It reminds me of having to have this debate or conversation about boys and girls sports. Like, like, this is common sense. I don't understand why we even need to have a freaking debate about ID and citizenship to vote in federal elections. You guys, this is not rocket science. You're not sending people to the moon. You're not sending people to Mars. But I bet you if you were, you would need ID. Just saying.
Yep. Well, and Allie.
Good morning, Kenneth. Thank you for your comment.
Is Kenneth like, amen?
Yeah, he's like, he's happy to tune in today, ladies, is what he said.
Well, thank you, Kenneth. And we're all in this together, but it is frustrating.
No, I rebuke that. Nope, we're not doing in this together since 2020.
Why? What's wrong with the little High School Musical? We're all in this together.
Oh my gosh, is that where they got it from? Oh. Fauci and all his friends.
I know all the choreography. No, oh my God. Zac Efron. Come on, like, this is fine. We can do this together. We can unite to do something that's so constitutional, and then afterwards we can, like, kind of go behind closed doors and metaphorically slap people around and say, what took so long? But what we're seeing,
back the glove slap. Can we do that? Can we do that, please?
Either a glove slap or a chancla slap. You take your pick. But Allie, the main argument, I think, is that why does it take so much pressure from people? Why does it take the ask to listen, get out there and argue this in the public, let the people see what is behind all of this? Take a look real quick. We've got a little clip that Nick Sorter shared. Can we go ahead and play the clip? Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Just convicted a woman in Massachusetts of voter fraud. Prosecutors say that she also stole more than $400,000 in federal benefits. White House correspondent Aisha Hasni reports live from the North Lawn. Hi, Aisha.
Hey there, Martha. We're talking about a 59-year-old illegal immigrant who's been in the country for years, stole someone else's identity, and then voted in the 2024 presidential election. Take a look at this photo here. This is Lina Maria Arovio Hernandez. In this picture, you can see her, Martha, wearing that I voted sticker that we all get when we go to cast our ballots. She's also convicted of stealing $400,000, as you mentioned, in benefits. She apparently used her fake identity to obtain multiple state IDs and also a passport. So the president this morning, or excuse me, on Sunday, posted this on Truth Social. America's elections are rigged, stolen, and a laughingstock all over the world.
I mean, okay. But they told us it wasn't happening, Allie. They told us it wasn't happening.
Well, and I'm mad that she called her an illegal immigrant. First of all, you don't immigrate. You're an illegal alien. That's number one. Can we actually use the proper phrasing, please? Yeah. News media. Thank you. Love her name, Aisha. Very pretty. Very gorgeous. I loved it. But
just fix the language.
Yes, that's all. That's all I'm asking.
Well, and this isn't a partisan issue even. If you take a look at this graphic from Fox News, the poll that they took, 84% of you and I agree that we want to prove U.S. citizenship, not just voter ID, but prove citizenship, 84%. So when you get 84% of the American people on board, when you get blasting it on every platform you can possibly imagine, then you get the, you know what, maybe we'll do it.
So I actually have a list here, and I'm gonna give me a second. I have to find it so I can give it to our friend here behind closed doors. He's our back of the house guy. So there are about 8 Republicans in the Senate who do not want to pass the SAVE Act. What? Why? I have all of their phone numbers. Thank you to Carissa, who posted this. I'm going to send it to David, and we're going to put it up here in a few seconds as soon as I can find her, because I found it on my laptop, not on my do you need an email, David? Is that better, or do you want me to text it to you? Because I want everybody to call.
I think
you can just email it.
Email? Okay, cool.
Yeah, and this is important, guys. This is your homework for today. Once we get this up, we'll actually share it on our social media too. We'll make sure Bree grabs it and shares it, because you need to be able to take a still clip of this and maybe screenshot it and send it to 5 friends, because this is Democrats and Republicans saying, yeah, we would like a level playing field and for our elections to be what we really, some of us thought they were up until 5-6 years ago,
right,
that they were free and fair and of and by the for the people. Because here's the thing, if we hustle and bust our butts as candidates or as citizens, and we go out and we vote and we think, you know, we have reworked our day, some of us have taken time off work, some of us have gotten childcare, whatever, to go do your constitutional right to vote. If just one person who's not here legally, not a citizen, and should not be voting, if they go vote and are able to take, that takes your vote away. It's not even so much it is that they're voting illegally, but it's nullifying citizens' votes.
100%.
And how are we sovereign then? So I agree with you, Allie. Listen, I know we're waiting to get that up. Once we get it, I know David will let us know. But in the meantime, I want to shift gears briefly because we have the wonderful Chloe Castillo that's joining us remotely. She's better known as Classically Chloe. Chloe, you're no stranger to open mic, but it's been a little while since we've seen you. Thank you for joining us. How are you? Oh, I don't have your audio. Sorry.
There we go. Great to see you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful.
Oh,
well,
always a pleasure having you on our show, girl.
You've been on our panel many times when we had the home front on Patriot TV because we had an all-woman panel sometimes, and then you were part of our Gen Z panel. So give our viewers a little bit of your backstory because it's refreshing to me anyway to see, and I know Allie too, to see sometimes this next generation of young people kind of coming to understand what their opinion is politically, not afraid to bring their faith into the forefront. So explain to our viewers a little bit of your backstory and then tell them a little bit about your show because I think you still have a show, right?
I do. So, I guess I was a homeschooled Christian, classical pianist, who basically woke up during COVID to the problems going on in the music industry, via several different experiences I had. First of all, I stood up to the vaccine, mandates when it came to, music schools and whatnot. And I got a lot of pushback for that. And so I know that was kind of one thing that kind of helped me woke up. And then beyond that, I guess I was about 14 when I got on social media for the first time and saw that my generation was being indoctrinated by the left, largely through music and through mainstream entertainment. And so, upon seeing that, I'm very passionate about my country and about music as well. So I basically kind of combined the two and decided to really pursue that, and do something about changing the culture in America. I know I can't do it alone, but I think that if one person can do a lot to start a lot of change. So I founded Make Music Right, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to fostering a music culture in America that enriches and strengthens our society. So basically, we want to educate Americans on, you know, how much music influences people, how much it really impacts everyone's worldview, and to really promote music that actually has the values that make our nation great. And so that is what I've been doing for the past, I believe, 4 years or so. The nonprofit just launched in August. We had a beautiful event up in Westchester. Lara Trump headlined, and it was just a fantastic start. So I'm very excited about where this is going, and it's just been quite the journey.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, I have to ask you, did you think, I mean, when being so young, being 14, being 15 years old, you know, peer pressure is a big thing. Fitting in is a big thing. We've all been there. We all remember what that was like throughout adolescence. It's difficult to sort of phrase your own opinion, especially when people your age largely do not reflect the same opinion. What was that like for you? Because I see it even in our school systems with some of these walkouts, which we're going to talk about later. How hard is that for young people to know that they can stand their ground and really stand in their beliefs? Was part of it maybe that you were outside the regular school system and so you had the support of your parents? What do you think set you apart in that way?
Probably so. I think that being raised a Christian conservative and a little bit different than most kids my age. I was always a lot of my friends were a little bit older. I wasn't really into the trends and the, you know, everything my age group was doing anyway. So I was kind of used to being the odd one out in a way in that sense. So I don't think I was too bothered by voicing my opinions when they arose there. So that may be one thing. Also, I do have very supportive parents actually about this. And so it was fantastic. But overall, I think that honestly, just my convictions and knowing that it's extremely important to stand for truth, and that matters way more than any if it's, you know, a friendship is going to dwindle from that. It's a so-called friendship, in my opinion. So I don't think that that's really something to worry about. I think that was something that was kind of instilled in me at a young age, is that standing for truth, standing for the word of God, standing for things that actually matter is a lot more important than, you know, not fitting in, if you will. But I do think that a lot of young people today definitely struggle with that. We live in a world, especially with social media, where peer pressure or, you know, who's getting the right number of clicks and the right number of, you know, whatever, is a really big thing for the young people of our country. And so it's definitely a factor when it comes to kids feeling like they can actually speak up and stand for what they believe in, or beyond standing for what they believe in, they also have a huge pressure to give in to what the other side is asking of them. So that's something to definitely keep in mind with America's youth.
Have you gotten a lot of good feedback, or what is the feedback you've gotten from those that are currently in the industry since you've launched your mission?
Like, you mean musicians?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's been fantastic from musicians. Now, the conservative movement's been very, 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 very slow to take, if you will. The conservatives have a little bit of a hard time, I think, understanding the importance of culture, and especially music and entertainment. It's starting to catch on, though, and it's great to see the momentum rolling. We saw that with the Super Bowl halftime show. People started to kind of wake up and go, wow, we're being, assaulted here with this kind of ideology, and we're sick of it. And so I think that was a fantastic show of strength, finally, from the conservative side of things when it comes to entertainment. So I think that was a bit of a wake-up call, and hopefully we'll get some momentum from that moving forward. Americans actually seeing this really, truly does matter, and something needs to happen, around entertainment for America to actually move and shift in the right direction in the long term.
I'm glad you mentioned the halftime show, because this is the first time we've had people say, just turn off the halftime show. We've had people say, don't watch the NFL, don't watch the halftime, don't watch the Super Bowl at all. It's very difficult when you love America's pastime, right? Football, like the left, you don't own it, you know what I mean? And then when you love music, it's not enough for a performance, or just that performance quality, or if you love dance. It's like, I don't want to turn it off. I just, the idea of an alternative never entered my brain until like Q Turning Point USA. And I just think, I want to know your opinion. Do you almost feel like sometimes those in decision-making roles, whether it's in the NFL, at the leadership level, that they almost deliberately select things that are going to just incite a little bit of not being comfortable from those of us that have, whether you're a Christian or a conservative or just an American, and want to be able to understand some of the lyrics. Like, what do you think about that? The choice of Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl, and what are you hearing as far as the numbers that people turned out in Turning Point halftime?
So I think Bad Bunny, the whole decision there is absolutely absurd, but no shock at all. I mean, the NFL has been pushing this ideology for a long time. I think that, we saw, what was it, America the Beautiful or something like that. Something was performed in tribute to the queer community the other day. I mean, they're a mess. They've been a hot mess for a long time. People, say, oh, this is the first, like, really bad halftime. No, it's not. It's been a major problem for a long time. And I think that a lot of people just kind of want to put that aside because they enjoy the entertainment aspect. They don't really want to put that aside. But it is, a really big issue. It's the largest stage pretty much in our nation. And it's a family stage too. It's not supposed to be like, oh, this adult, after hours network. This is something that's supposed to be for all ages, for the family to enjoy together, for Americans to come together around. It's not supposed to be a one-sided show. You look back, you had Travis Tritt performing not too long ago, and it's like such an American feel. And it's really sad to see how the NFL and how these, massive companies and whatnot have really been just completely squashing middle America and America, for that matter, with their ideology and with the rhetoric they want to push. And so it's no surprise. It's been happening for a long time. It's become more and more perverted as well. We see Bad Bunny. We had these, grown men grinding on each other at this show. It's like, it's disgusting. Again, it's not new. You also had Rihanna, showing all sorts of things while pregnant. One at her halftime, people loved that show, and it's like, well, this is actually kind of problematic, and especially when it, like I said, is television for the whole family. So it's no surprise. I think it's a complete slap in the face when it comes to the whole Spanish side of this. We had that, and then of course the English spoken songs were Green Day with American Idiot. We had Lady Gaga slip in there a little bit. She's satanic and insane.
We had Katy Perry riding like some kind of beast. Remember that? I was like, oh my gosh. It was crazy. It was crazy. Well, and we mentioned the leadership of the NFL. Roger Goodell has largely been not in step with I think, mainstream America for a lot of things in the NFL. I wanted to ask you, because our tech producer just mentioned that, Rock Nation, which is owned by Jay-Z.
Take it out my mouth. It's fine.
has been producing these shows roughly since like 2020. This is different than when you go to a concert. When I go to a concert, and I've been to plenty of them, and I decided I brought my daughter to Justin Bieber, and I will just say that on the record I did that. And so, but then you kind of know, like, I'm listening to his music ahead of time. I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm like, what is this going to be? Because when he was very, very young. And, so when you're going to a concert and you buy a ticket. When you go to a sporting event, or when you're watching a sporting event, whatever happened to the ratings of, like, PG-13? Like, how can we really do that if we're including the halftime show? Don't you think sometimes it's done for shock and awe, guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, most. You don't remember what's her name, Janet Jackson, and her wardrobe malfunction.
Wardrobe malfunction. That was.
Sorry, Chloe. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think that it's definitely done for shock value, and I think more than shock value, though, they really are trying to push an agenda. And they are trying to desensitize Americans too, especially the youth. You see what he actually sings about if you translate it. I think, it's despicable. If you look up his song, I think it's called Bettino or something. I can't remember totally, so I'm slaughtering this, I'm sure. But it's about it's basically this very graphic, very pornographic song making fun of religion and basically saying, like, I'm engaging in all this sexual deviance, and who are you to judge me? You can't judge me, and God can't judge me. And it's like very dark, very sick, very perverted, and it has no place whatsoever being, I think, the performer at the Super Bowl. I mean, that'd be like if you had a porn star up on stage for this, and it's kind of like, you know what, unless you've like stepped away from that, maybe let's not be promoting that as like forefront of American culture. I just have a little bit of an issue with that.
The Super Bowl has been synonymous for those that either work or volunteer or are aware with the human trafficking epidemic that is in our nation, whether it's domestic abuse or sexual human trafficking. There's a huge uptick around the Super Bowl, and those that work in our intelligence community and that fight this daily will tell us that, the areas that these sporting events take place, predominantly the Super Bowl, there's an uptick in the need for young women, for sexual abuse, for the trafficking of minors. It's absolutely crazy. And when I think about the hypersexualization of a halftime show, you're whether you mean to or not, and I would argue you do mean to, you're feeding into that, and you're feeding into, nobody should have to turn the channel during a halftime show. I want both of you ladies to answer this. What do you think, because the numbers are starting to roll in, that the Turning Point halftime show, between the restreams and all the networks that participated, is blowing this out of the water? What do you guys think we're going to see in the upcoming years? Are we going to always see 2 halftime shows?
I'll let you go, Chloe.
Well, I know Turning Point announced, I think yesterday, they're going to continue doing this yearly. So it'll be great to see the American people's response to something different in our music culture. I think it's refreshing to see so many people really fed up with this and wanting something better. Make Music Right put out a video, I think, the day before the halftime show, if not mistaken, by one of our advisory board members, Chad Prather, amazing guy. And the views on that just skyrocketed. I think we gained like almost 2,000 followers in a day from it. It was just, the response was incredible. So I think people are really sick of this. They want change. And I'm just very excited to see people really jumping on board for this movement.
Well, I think that's the only way that you're going to be able to see, to create change, right, is to provide an alternative and see what the results are for that. What is the return on investment for having 2 halftime shows? What does that look like? And can it send a loud enough message that we, the American people, would like a more wholesome family kind of entertainment on the national stage when it comes to the largest attended, the largest watched sporting event in America. So I think in years to come, we're definitely going to see possibly a shift. Maybe even TPUSA hosts the NFL. We'll see.
That would be amazing. Well, and let's not forget, guys, I'm all for being bilingual. I wish I could be more bilingual. But when you have an artist who is speaking predominantly in a foreign language, and if he would have said those same words in English, the FCC would have gotten involved, you have an issue. And I don't think that we should allow artists to hide between bilingualism to be able to then perpetrate this filth onto people's ears that probably don't even know what they're saying. Chloe, thank you so much for joining us. I want to make sure that you let everybody know where they can learn more about Make Music Right, where they can follow you, and where they can get involved.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. It's great to see y'all. I feel like it's been like a year since I've been on with you guys.
It's been a while.
It's so good to see you.
You've grown up, I'm just going to say.
You might have been on around this time last year when we first started. So.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. I love it. Anyway, so you can find me at Classically Chloe on social media, also Make Music Right on social media. And please check out makemusicright.com. Right now we have a petition going around actually that is calling for a resurgence of traditional American values in music culture, kind of as a response to the halftime show, but also just in general. I think it's very important. And so we are sharing that petition around right now and getting signatures. Our goal right now is 500. We're well on our way. So please, if your audience is watching this, go check out that petition and sign right now.
That's amazing. God bless you, Chloe, for what you're doing. We're here to support you anytime, girl.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Keep it up.
Keep it up. Thank you. That's amazing,
maybe open
she's
mic
all grown
ladies.
up.
Right, I know. She's so beautiful. Maybe open mic ladies should host we should host the NFL next year, the halftime show. And we could just do our own show.
I'm sure there's
cool.
plenty of people left to offend. So
Because you know what would be really funny? We would end up having the entire stadium call Chuck Schumer's office.
Like we did for the Charlie Kirk event. Speaking of the Charlie Kirk event, guys, I want to show, before we go into a commercial break, I want to show this. Epic Times did a documentary basically saying what killed Charlie. And we've not talked about this yet on the show, but when we had Chloe on, I saw her in the documentary. She's actually in a little piece of it. I want to show you guys the documentary, then I want to tell you where you guys can go to watch it. Take a look. This is Epic Times documentary, What Killed Charlie.
Charlie is a massive, massive political and cultural threat to that ideology. So you got to kill him. And that's the way these people think. It's monstrous.
Charlie Kirk was presented as an anti-Semite, as a purveyor of misinformation, as being someone on what they call the hard right.
He's been slandered and lied about by people on the left.
Charlie Kirk was shot down on a college campus, not with a weapon in his hand, but with a microphone.
What kind of threats did Charlie face, and did he ever confide in you about these?
He would say, this is a dark time spiritually, pray for me. He'd ask for that.
How was Charlie Kirk framed by the narrative system?
He was always such a generous man. I really appreciated how bold Charlie Kirk is.
He gave me the ability to speak out. Charlie was gracious. He was a Boy Scout. He was the best of us. That's the one you shot? That's the one you decided to kill?
How do you think his faith impacted his political ideas?
I always say he was the most misunderstood missionary in America because he saw politics as an on-ramp to Jesus. But fear never enveloped him. If there was a heavy spiritual moment, he would ask people to pray. He was the most honest man I've ever met in my entire life.
They want their nation and they're willing to fight for it.
Wow.
And I think that's what happened with Charlie.
Yeah.
Incredible. I didn't even know that this was this
Well,
came out. Did this come out?
It came out in November, and the lamestream media has, and I'm talking on both sides of the aisle, they have not put this forward. That's why I want to make sure I showed our viewers. Guys, you can go to The Epic, and it's EPOCH times.com. Click at the top where it says documentary. It's called Truth Under Fire, The Framing of Charlie Kirk. I think this is a great thing to not only watch, but I think if you've got young people that are in that high school age that understand, because again, they don't show anything here of what took place, but understanding that narrative and how our speech and the narrative that we use and that we push, if you get inside that echo chamber, it changes the entire culture. It's why what Chloe said about music and what we do here on Open Mic, affecting culture is important. It's time that our Republican Party gets on board with that as well. So I just wanted to let our viewers know they could see that.
No, that's good. Good.
That's awesome.
I forgot what I was going to say. That's fine.
Well, Allie, we're about to take a little break to go get the Liberty cigars that you all want to order. You want to order the Liberty cigars and support a really wonderful patriotic company. Plus, you use promo code Open Mic Ladies, you save 10%, and you support Open Mic Ladies. So we'll be right back after this short message.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OPENMIC for 10% off your order.
Sending messages to our tech producer.
Everyone could hear you. Just
I'm like, I think I might have the wrong clip for Ghislaine Maxwell. I might have left the Hillary Clinton clip because it made me so mad the other day. Well,
oh, it's all good. No, guys, so I want you to know, too, that the Liberty Cigars website is being updated. Once that's updated, you will be able to find the candles that they have added, and they are taking candle orders. If you go to, it's orders at libertycigars.com is how you can order that. You just type in there your name, your address, what the candle that you want to order some candles, and they'll give you, they'll follow up from there. And they're really responsive. So
they'll probably have it up and orders ready to be taken in time for my birthday, which is in July. So I'm just...
No, it'll be up in the next couple days, actually.
I know, but I was just saying, putting it out there.
Oh, for your birthday. Okay.
Yeah. And for your birthday, we got Trump elected, so I can never top that.
Right. I have really big aspirations for my birthday.
She's like,
good
it's going to
luck.
be very hard for somebody to top that. Allie, we talk about it a lot on this show. It's very difficult to get the American people sometimes motivated enough to vote in a primary. But one of the things that's more difficult is when you have two things, either certain seats that are supposed to be not partisan, which means you can have a far left-leaning Democrat run as a moderate, and really, unless you've done your homework, you don't really know who you're voting for. Or two, never dawned on me, there are legitimate, like, Democrats who will just run as a Republican in some states, like...
Yeah, it's happened here in Florida. They, like, completely say that they're, I'm a Republican now. And then everyone's like, oh, but there isn't another Republican in the race. Okay, so I guess we're just going to open arms and take this person in. Like, it is not the walkaway movement, y'all. They didn't just wake up one day and change their ideology.
Yeah, right.
You got to ask the right questions.
And they are saying it out loud, Allie. This is in North Carolina. We've got Katie Barr. She's running for NC 14.
Yeah,
she's just going to say it out loud. Take a look.
I'm not a real Republican. Like, I am telling people the truth. I knock on a door and I say I'm running in the Republican primary, but I'm not a Republican. I'm a progressive. I'm running as a Republican in the Republican primary for Congressional District 14 because that is where the actual competition happens in our gerrymandered district. It happens in the primaries. Like, if you're in a district that is a lock for Democrats, that Democratic primary is where the competition is. And quite frankly, while the can't win strategy is about building for the long term and like building our bench and being ready for fair maps in 2030, we got to fucking win right now because we are in an emergency, like a democratic emergency. And so the place I can win is as a fake Republican.
The democratic emergency is called voting without an ID. Senators in the U.S. Congress.
Yes.
Lord Jesus, can we please get off our best intentions and pass the damn SAVE Act?
Pass the SAVE Act. 84% of Americans, regardless of political party, are on board. This would be, you want to get reelected? This might be one of the things that you could do to move that along. So what she's saying is, she lives in a Republican hot pocket. Like, there's no chance of a Democrat ever winning that seat. So all of you red states, all of you red cities, you red counties, listen up. Her ideology then says, I'm going to go and run and register as a Republican, and I'm going to win that seat in the Republican primary, and then surprise, you have Tom Edwards elected. Like that's
you know that this is not okay when a Republican does this. If a Republican were to denounce that they were a Republican and run in a Democrat held seat and knock on doors and say, I'm not a real Democrat, I'm not a real Republican, I'm a Democrat, or I'm not a real Democrat, I'm a Republican, like, you would never be allowed back into the GOP, not ever. But yet we're going to open up our arms and allow these Democrats to run as fake Republicans and say it's okay. But don't ever say a bad thing about another Republican. Don't hop into a race against your, anointed GOP candidate, because then you'll be ostracized because, you're working with the FRA or you're working with the MAGA Republicans instead of, instead of your state or your county Republican Party. Like, but what are you guys actually doing? You're not even registering people to vote. You're not even getting out calls to action to save or to pass specific legislation. If your purpose is to just simply get candidates elected, why are you focused on just registration? You need to be able to build up your precincts. Why are all the precincts empty without precinct strategy people? Why are you shutting that down? Why are you not inviting smaller, younger folks to come into the game to offer different ideas?
New blood, younger people, people with families, people that exactly, Allie. We need to be the large tent party, and that's not happened up till now, and that's really been it's disenfranchised people. But I think somebody like this woman in North Carolina, I don't think she's going and asking the GOP their permission to run. She's literally just changing her party affiliation and then putting her name on the ballot. It makes you wonder, will the local GOPs, will they do their part in identifying who these people are? Because a lot of the GOP, throughout the different states, I know it's a little bit different, but they largely take the stance that they're not going to endorse in the primary. I understand why that is, because you want to let that sort of play out. They don't want to pick favorites. But in a situation like this, what is the party doing to, I guess, give people the facts of who this person is?
Right.
Or who this is.
So this is my question too. Like, you even experienced this as a candidate running for House in Florida, where you were up against an incumbent who essentially put out crazy hit mail, and doxed you all over the place. And it happens a lot. It happened in Hillsborough County with a couple of other candidates that I know. And they have these campaign consultants who play dirty games, but yet you're not going to do that with this person. We're not going to play that game with her, but you're going to do it with someone else that's running against your candidate. I don't understand the logic here.
That's understandable. And I think that's where we, the people, get involved, because a lot of what's happened here in Florida is people that felt disenfranchised by the party have now started their own organizations and trying to be, boots on the ground in that way. I'm hoping we can find a way to all cohesively work together, but it's very difficult when you've been kicked out and largely disenfranchised. It's very, very difficult. The other thing that's very difficult, and I haven't seen really a lot of parties, GOP leaders take a stance on, which might be interesting even in the school board realm, these children that are walking out of school for protests. Now, they're claiming they want to protest ICE, which is like a non-existent thing really in schools, but whatever. They want to protest. They're saying it's our First Amendment right. I just was in a meeting where the local police chief for our schools was in and said, really, at least here in Florida, there's nothing they can do to stop a student from walking out if they want to walk out. It's got to be parents, it's got to be families that kind of work through this. They're going to get a truancy ding, but if those penalties aren't strong enough, what's to say that I don't have a First Amendment reason why I'm leaving school Monday through Friday? And then what happens? But it's happening. I want to show this clip because in some states and in some areas it's turning violent. Take a look.
We were just attacked by kids skipping school in the middle of a protest here in Issaquah, Washington. We'll tell the whole story later, but here's a clip for now.
Get off of her! Get off of her! Get off of her!
Wow! I'm sorry. Maybe I should not say that.
You guys, listen.
I'm not gonna say that, but that's absolutely wild. Wow.
It's wild. It's wild, and I'm gonna tell you, we had here in the state of Florida, in the district that I live in, we have had organized organized people, associations, organizations, NCOs, call them what you want, that have enticed and put propaganda out to get these students to walk out of school. My question is, and to attend a school board meeting, fed them donuts.
I mean, they had an office in the dang school board building. How?
That's no longer happening. But yes,
It should have happened in the first place.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. What happens if a student, if your child gets injured, God forbid, when you think they're at school and they've been allowed to walk out and go protest along the side?
I'm suing the school district. That's what's happening. I'm suing the school district. But I really think that that's what they want to happen.
Well, but as a taxpayer to the school district, maybe you don't have children enrolled in the schools, this is a question we need to be pressing our school board members, our superintendent, and I think every school board member from coast to coast needs to come out on the record and say whether they are in favor of students walking out in protest during the regular school hours. Because we need to figure out who we have elected to office. We need to not be afraid to get them on the record, because this could end very badly for some of our young people. And for what? For an ideology that's not existing, especially in our county. We told you they were using DEI, CRT, and gender ideology to create social justice warriors out of children who couldn't read and write and do basic math. And they said we were extremists.
Crazy.
And guess what?
We're extremists. It's happening.
Look what they are.
And yet you have school board members like Jessica Vaughn in District 3 of Hillsborough County who has been exacerbating this since 2020. Talking about how this is important, how we need to. She's a part of the Democrat Socialists of America, and she literally sits on the school board. Like, what are we doing? I
Coming soon to a local school board election near you, and guess what, guys? If you want to just vote for governor in your state, or senator or House of Rep, you're gonna miss it. Because the school board elections, especially here in Florida, are on the primary ballot. You better find out when your local school board election is.
Educate the child, so goes the soul of the nation. That is how that goes. And how else do you expect to completely take over a sovereign nation without ever firing a shot? You poison the minds of the youth. It is textbook communism.
Leninism.
That's what it is.
Maoism. It's already been done around the globe.
Except for patriotism.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's the ism that I like. So it's not just our young people, though. Coming soon to a Target near you. I'm not talking about the tuck-friendly swimwear. I'm talking about, well, just roll the clip. This is too funny. She said, "Ay, Dios mío."
Listen, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe page for all these viejitas and viejitos, and I'm gonna put in money in there, and you guys can go on an excursion, go on a field trip, go to like King's Dominion, go to an amusement park, Six Flags, go to the zoo, go get some drinks, go somewhere, because Target is not it. ICE is not at Target. I don't know what you're doing, but why? Why?
David said, our tech producer said he was slamming his head on the table. How many of you were joining David just a moment ago?
This is craziness. And this is what, honestly, Michelle, and I'm sorry to keep cutting you off.
That's okay, babe.
This is what happens when you have a lack of proper messaging. The White House can their messaging is on point. But when you have people that are in charge of local parties and cannot grab a hold of the national message and portray that at a local level and amplify it, we have a problem. Yeah. These people are not of the right mind. It's false messaging. You have to take hold of that messaging and reframe it, which is why I'm so good at comms, because this is craziness.
Well, and it's not just, and we can't just lean on the White House to do it. We have to do it in our states, and we have to do it in our local GOP. You have to be able to, because when you move into a place, especially if you're moving from a blue state to a red state, and you come into a nice red district, and then you look to the party to sort of give you that that education, if you will. And I think sometimes we miss it, especially when it comes to young families and young people. We've got to make sure that the messaging is accurate. That means getting involved. I'm going to say the thing that nobody's supposed to say. That means getting involved with messaging to young people. As young as 16, you can pre-register them to vote. We should be having these conversations with our 16-year-olds who want to watch out for ICE. Say, well, let me ask you something. You just passed driver's ed, didn't you? Did they teach you to point your car towards an officer and barrel them down, or did they teach you that that was against the law? Then why are you so against ICE? What did they do in this instance? Nobody's actually giving that pushback. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, because we do have good parents. We do have good teachers that are trying to bring that in.
But young folks like Camden Bettinghouse, who has his own podcast, and he's out there doing it. And you have people like him and like Chloe and of that nature that are like, look, this is what we are seeing. This is what's wrong. How do we fix this? Let's have this conversation. Let's go into these schools and have this You are allowing PSL, what is that? The
Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Right. You have them infiltrated in the schools and giving public speeches at schools. And what is that? You attend the auditorium, like whatever meeting.
Like the pep rallies, kind of.
Right. You can do that, but we can't have like a Turning Point Club America situation. No, those kids are getting bullied out of school because, And
I want you to understand. I want our viewers to understand.
Like, what the hell?
It is very much a minority, but if we do not keep our eye on it throughout the nation and in your backyard, it can quickly become the majority. For example, I know here we had roughly 700 students that walked out at our last school board meeting to come to a school board meeting, and walked out of school, and we are a district of 45,000. So you have to think about it, but it is very structured. It is organized. I'm interested to see what our lawmakers and what our school boards will do across the country to hold these organizations accountable for enticing young people to basically be truant, because if that happened for any other reason, we would be screaming that it's not safe for kids. I want to pivot just a little bit, Allie. We've talked about Lauren Boebert. I've not heard a lot from her, but she's still been very effective. Somebody caught her on the way out of Capitol Hill talking about what she had viewed with some of the unredacted Epstein files. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what she said.
You cannot disclose the identity of...
Wrong one. Sorry, that was on me. If we're going to skip ahead to Lauren Boebert in the Unredacted Files.
Congresswoman, are you among the members who got to see the Unredacted Files today?
Yes, I saw some of them, not all of them, obviously. I'll be going back tomorrow to see more.
Any reaction on what you've seen so far?
I think that there's folks who are definitely implicated and co-conspirators. And, I don't think everyone there that was talking about underage girls being trafficked are victims.
Got it. And do you support any clemency for Ghislaine Maxwell? She was saying that she
I do not. Okay. I think Ghislaine Maxwell should get more time, and she should definitely be in a harsher prison than what she's in. It's absolutely disgusting.
Got it. Thank you, Congresswoman.
So I want to give a little bit of commentary to this, because Anna Paulina Luna also had the same thing to say, but she said it in a way that I think more people can understand. Is there are people that are redacted for being quote unquote victims, yet these people have been groomed to be traffickers. And Anna Paulina Luna says, if you are trafficking children, you are not a victim. Even if you started as a victim and you are choosing to traffic children, you are no longer a victim, and your name does not deserve to be redacted. And you should be put in jail. And that's exactly what she said. So, I mean, you can go find her post. I was going to share it with you later, so we could probably post it tomorrow and talk about it tomorrow. I wasn't fully aware that we were going to do this one today. But yes.
And honestly, what they're getting at is that Ghislaine Maxwell is back in front of the House committee in closed door. She had a chance to testify, and she pled the fifth.
She didn't. She pled the fifth the entire time.
She pled the fifth the entire time. So think about it. She could have outed and given some information, obviously looking out for her best interest, her own interest, not the interest of... To me, Allie, this doesn't show any anything about being sorry or any remorse for what she's done. But there's been some talk about her asking the administration for clemency, and I think that's what they're...
Absolutely not. And I think after her performance, after her hearing, she should be put into a harsher prison, and added years to her sentence. Because how are you not going to cooperate? We're giving you the opportunity to cooperate and come clean, and at least show some kind of remorse for these victims that you helped become victims. Like, I don't understand. You're a sick person, and she deserves
absolutely
to be under the jail.
Absolutely. And there are plenty of people on Capitol Hill that are not afraid to talk about just how deep the laundry list goes with the Epstein files. There's been a lot of back and forth. You've heard it. A lot of you guys have heard this. I'm sure you don't really know what to respond with when people make the accusation that, well, the reason it's taken so long to get the Epstein files out is because Donald Trump's name's in there and da-da-da-da. And I want you guys to understand, Harriet Hagelman has just dropped the hammer on that on that
favorite rep.
That narrative, because yes, Trump's name is in the Epstein files because he was one of the few, the first one.
He was the whistleblower, the first one
to come out and talk about what he knew, what was happening, and what he knew was happening with Ghislaine Maxwell, or what he suspected. Listen to Harriet Hageman talk about some representatives that have some splaining to do. Take a listen.
It's a huge
I think that it's very obvious.
Ms. Hageman, I'll interrupt her the same number of times she interrupted me, Mr. Chairman.
Controls the time and is not yielded.
Mr. Chairman, hold on.
One person even made the accusation that there is this whole slew of powerful men who have been covering for Jeffrey Epstein and their abusers. Well, you want to know who actually ran cover for Epstein? Who actually covered for the abuser? Do you want to know who actually protected Jeffrey Epstein? Well, her name is Stacey Plaskett, and she is a Democrat representative from the Virgin Islands. So if you want to go in and look at the Epstein files, why don't you go ahead and do a word search for Stacey Plaskett, representative from the Virgin Islands, the woman who was Jeffrey Epstein's fixer. So if you want to talk about powerful men covering for Epstein, I think Stacey Plaskett has something as well to answer for being Jeffrey Epstein's fixer. So I would start on that side of the aisle to determine what kind of work she was doing for Mr. Epstein, because we know that she was his fixer, and her name is in the Epstein files repeatedly. So I think that what we really need to focus on here is the bill at hand, which is whether men should be allowed to compete in women's sports.
We can bring it
back.
back.
We need to get back and kind of...
Thank you.
She had to pivot from that. I mean, yeah.
I need this subpoena. Where Plaskett? Can we subpoena her? Can we please?
Stacey Plaskett. She is the United States representative delegate, as she said, to the Virgin Islands. Guess where this was all taking place, guys?
The Virgin Islands.
The Virgin Islands. You don't run a compound like that, and I'm sorry, apply for whatever building permits and whatever kind of permits you need and getting people on and off the island. You don't do that without having people locally that are aware.
I'm saying.
And don't think there aren't women involved in perpetrating human trafficking.
Absolutely.
Because we used to teach our children, listen, if you get separated or you get lost, first look for an official, somebody that's a police officer or a mom or a female.
Nope.
Listen, they
Not
took
anymore.
that and they hijacked it.
Yep. Not anymore.
Well, Allie and I alluded to the fact, but here is the fact. Trump actually blew the whistle on what took place with Jeffrey Epstein. In this released 2006 you can see right here, it was pulled from the Epstein files, but in 2006, Palm Beach police recorded a phone call with Donald Trump where he straight up called the cops to report Epstein's disgusting activities. See something, say something. Pretty interesting. He didn't mince words. He basically flagged Ghislaine Maxwell, specifically calling her evil, and told investigators to focus on her.
Why did they not? Why has it taken so long? Are there more people that are complicit than what we think? And I think
this is the really bad deal, I think in 2008, 2009, that Jeffrey Epstein, the really bad plea deal that he got here in the state of Florida, needs to be examined, because why were we giving any plea deals to somebody that we now know perpetrated so much harm on young people and really was the tie to a lot of very predominant people getting their access to young girls? We saw, we played for you last week about Bill and Melinda Gates, and how he contracted STDs from young Russian girls and trying to slip a pill to Melinda. I mean, this is all part of it now. I won't even go into some of the most disgusting. But in 2008, 2009, he was given a really juicy plea deal here in the state of Florida. And I was really disappointed, as much as I loved Pam Bondi for some of what she did here in the state of Florida, for not really speaking more to that. There are some ties to Florida, to people that are now in the administration, that this is not new to them. And so, as we see Ghislaine Maxwell behind bars, as we saw Jeffrey Epstein behind bars, you can't buy and sell children as a commodity and not also be arrested. We now have people's names. We're hoping that maybe they appoint a special, I'd love to see a special prosecutor or a special faction of intelligence deal with this.
I agree. And then when you have Pam Bondi, who has said, if we prosecute everybody who is named in the Jeffrey Epstein files, the whole system collapses. Well, thank you so much for admitting that we have a two-tier justice system. Maybe there needs to be someone else put on this, because that cannot continue to exist.
And you know what? I am so tired of, I've heard this in a couple rooms I've been in lately, we deal with this person and we deal with that person because we just don't have anybody else. It's called a bench. It's called a bench. And people work tirelessly for professional sports teams to build a bench. It's time we do it within our own conservative movement. Build a bench.
But you know what? Stop kicking out the ones that are effective. That part.
Just because you don't agree with 10% or 20%.
Maybe the bench will grow if you actually put some effort into it.
Listen, it's going to change. It's going to change because it has to. It has to.
And stop looking for higher office if you are currently sitting in a position and you haven't done anything but register voters.
Yeah.
But you want to run to Congress. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we are out of time. Oh my goodness! I want to make sure you guys follow Classically Chloe Castillo on all social media platforms. Make sure you visit her Make Music Right platform. And as always, like, share, subscribe, because we're going to be right back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. We hope you join us, and we hope you pass the word along.
Keep that mic open. Love y'all.
Zone.